And I'm the district engineer for MoDOT here in central Missouri, and I want to thank you all for coming out this morning for what is a great event. My gosh, what a great crowd we have here to open up this very important pedestrian bicycle bridge attachment that connects the Katy Trail into Jefferson City, as well as providing an opportunity for the folks living on both sides of the river to come out and safely view and enjoy the river. We always like to start off our ceremony by honoring all those men and women that served in our armed forces overseas so that we can enjoy all the great things that we have in this beautiful country with the presentation of the national anthem. And today that's going to be done by Katie Richards, and Katie is actually a legislative assistant right over here in the Capitol building with our state senator Lager. So please join me in welcoming Katie.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Katie. Very nice job. Folks, we've got such a huge group of special guests here today. I know I'm not going to get them all, but I'm going to attempt to at least get some of them. First of all, from our United States Senator Claire McCaskill's office, Allison Scare. There's Allison. And from our U.S. Senator Roy Blunt's office, she's been to a lot of these events in the past and continues to come all the time, Sarah Bearfield, right here in front. Sarah. From U.S. Congressman Ike Skelton's office, Jeremy Ketterer. Where's Jeremy? Are you here? Anybody? Don't see him. Okay. And from U.S. Congressman Vicky Hartzler's office, we have Jana Worsham. There's Jana. Thank you for being here, Jana. I saw a couple of the county commissioners here. I know that Gary Youngerman, the presiding commissioner from Callaway County, and standing right next to him is Doc Kreitzer, also the county commissioner from Callaway County. Thank you guys for being here. Steve Rasmussen, the city administrator from the city of Jefferson. Steve, thanks for being here. Doug Aiken, former state parks director. I saw Doug here. Doug and I started having meetings about this project back in the late 1990s, and I'm glad that Doug could be here today to see this thing really getting finished. Also, I saw Steve Mahfood somewhere here, the former DNR director is here. And also another very much bicycle advocate is the former mayor of the city of Columbia, Darwin Heineman, is here. So, Darwin, thank you. And another guy that I want to mention that has been in a lot of these meetings, Bill Lockwood from the City of Jefferson Parks and Recreation Department is here. Bill has been a great help to us in getting this project going. But we got a couple of very special guests that I want to recognize. First of all, in the front row here this morning is Pat Jones. Pat was very instrumental in helping get the Katy Trail started many, many years ago. And she actually has property over here in Callaway County, she tells me, and later this month on April the 20th, we're actually going to be naming this bridge attachment in her honor. So we look forward to that. And we also have with us over here LeRoy Heman and his daughter Jennifer. They are very much advocates of the Katy Trail and ride the Katy Trail on a regular basis. And when we're finished today, Pat and LeRoy and his daughter are actually going to lead anyone that wants to travel across the pedestrian attachment. They'll lead us across and be the person that leads anyone that wants to go across on the attachment. We also have Randy Allen, the Chamber President from the City of Jefferson, the Jefferson City Area Chamber of Commerce, and want to thank them for providing the refreshments for today. And we also have Nancy Lewis, who is the Chamber Director from Callaway County, and she's brought a whole bunch of her Redcoat folks along with her today, and they actually provided some of the flowers that we have today, so thanks to you all. Transportation is something that's personal to everyone. Whether you drive a vehicle, whether you use transportation to get to work, or whether you receive goods or services through transportation, it affects all of us every single day. But a transportation system's not complete unless you have the whole system, and that's really what we're here to celebrate today, is the completion of a project that will provide a safe link across the Missouri River to provide folks in the Jefferson City and Cole County area a connection to Callaway and Holt Summit area, but also this project brings the Katy Trail to Jefferson City. So we're very pleased about that. It's a $6.7 million project, and it's going to greatly help our transportation system by bringing the Katy Trail here. This new pedestrian attachment adds statewide appeal to the Katy Trail, and it certainly encourages people to explore the communities on both sides of the river. The existing bridge today here is very busy. There's nearly 50,000 vehicles that cross this river every single day to get in and out of Jefferson City. In the past, the pedestrians and bicyclists had to share the lanes of the roadway with the vehicle traffic, but that's not going to be the case any longer, as we have now this separate attachment on the downstream side of the river that will provide a safe access going back and forth. On this north end, we have a very large ramp structure that will bring people from the roadway elevation up above down to the ground here on the north end and over to this Conservation River access. But if you've noticed on the way in, the signs are already up connecting this greenway trail onto the Katy Trail to direct people how to get back and forth. So we're very pleased with that. On the south end of the bridge, this connection ties in at the Main Street ramp and Clay Street on the south side in the city of Jefferson. So it'll be a great connection and something that people will be able to use for many years to come. The attachment's also accessible to all folks with disabilities, and we certainly look forward to those folks to have the opportunity that many others aren't able to. MoDOT did have help on this project. The design was actually done by Jacobson Engineering out of St. Louis, Missouri. Their project, Mark Capron, is here, and they attended a lot of different meetings trying to get all the final details of what this project would be like, and we certainly want to say thanks to Mark and all of his staff. As I mentioned, this is something that's been in the discussion since Bill Lockwood tells me our first meeting was in 1997, talking about doing something here to get a connection across the Missouri River. So it's been in the discussion stage for many, many years. And while we could use enhancement funds for 80% of the project, we had to come up with local match. And that would not have been possible to ever build this without those local sponsors, and I certainly want to say thanks to them today. Of course, the City of Jefferson was the lead sponsor, the Department of Natural Resources and the Missouri State Parks Foundation all provided the local match so that this could become possible. And truly without that, we would not have this attachment today. With that, I'd like to get to our speakers for today, and it's an honor for me to introduce this first person. He's not only the senator of this district, but he's a former Highway and Transportation Commissioner and a great community supporter for many, many years. Please join me in welcoming Senator Mike Kehoe.
Well, thank you very much, Roger, and it's awesome to see this incredible crowd out here today for what is going to be a very exciting project. And I know many people will say this and you'll hear this theme, but a lot of times we talk about in central Missouri the quality of life. And I know various groups, including the Chamber, have worked very hard on trying to figure out what does that mean. And I think what you're going to see today and experience over the next many, many years with your families is this is one of those things that's unmeasurable, hard to describe, but just adds an incredible plus to our quality of life here in central Missouri. I couldn't help but notice as Roger talked, all the various people he talked about, from elected officials to Chambers of Commerce, Parks Foundation, and it just brought to my mind sitting there about the how when we work together a project really comes forward. I can remember Pam Boatwright in my office, she's here somewhere, many years ago, telling me that we just got to get this done when I was on the Highway Commission, and I would go to the then chief engineer and he would kind of look at me funny, and I thought, man, this is going to be a tough deal to ever get done. But it's amazing to see the project done, and strictly from a selfish standpoint, the amount of jobs the project created, a local contractor that you'll hear from later was able to perform this project. I know at times it seemed like it was going on forever, but they did the project on time and within the schedule. And I like seeing that money that we receive from the federal government stay in our area, because I think that's what that's another aspect of quality of life I think that really brings it together. So I'm proud to be here today. It was neat for me to watch this from the commission standpoint. When we first started, Bill, 1997, I wasn't even born then, so I'm not sure how you started it back then. But all the way through now to my job serving the people in this area, both of these counties, to bringing this forward is very exciting. And my kids have already told me Sunday we're going across the bridge, Dad. So I've got bike tires to fix all weekend, and then we'll be on the bridge. So thank you for having me here this morning. Thanks for all the contractors, MoDOT, engineers, both of the counties, and all the partners that were involved in bringing this forward. It never happens without people working together, and I'm just darn proud to see the fruits of that labor. Thank you.
The mayor of the city of Jefferson, Mr. John Landwehr.
Thanks, Roger. Mike Kehoe was exactly correct in that it really does take a partnership. Some of our partnership work on the city side, of course, begins and ends with the city council, and I saw a couple of folks here. I want to recognize Councilwoman Carrie Carroll, Councilman David Griffith. Is Ron Medine here? Thank you. Who did I miss? Other city council persons here? Ron, we got? Good. Okay. There are a lot of folks to thank in this partnership, and you'll hear about them a lot this morning. I want to recognize three folks who were kind of down in the trenches on this. And one person has been mentioned already, Pam Boatwright and Ron Medine. Pam and Ron and I would take our little laptop around to places and try to promote interest in this project, and Pam has just worked diligently, and Ron Medine has just hung in there from the beginning, and I certainly want to recognize them along with many other people that we need to thank. There's another guy who, because he had to speak first, we maybe don't get to thank enough, and that's Roger Schwartz. Roger really hung in there. This is a hard project for an engineer because it's kind of counterintuitive, and it's couldn't find a lot of textbook examples of this, and I want to congratulate Roger and the engineering staff in District 5 on their willingness to stay engaged in this. By the way, this is Roger Schwartz's last ribbon cutting. He is retiring at the end of this month. And I just want to recognize Roger in particular on this. Roger has a little event on the 29th, and I think there's a table over there where you can get tickets, right, Roger? No, okay. Get some tickets, come out on the 29th, and have a good time and say goodbye to a great friend. We talk about the partnerships and we talk about the people involved in this project. I want to maybe broaden the scope a little bit and talk about this project maybe being part of a bigger vision. I'm going to start with a couple of verses from a song I know you know. 1958, Woody Guthrie wrote these words: "This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me." Ladies and gentlemen, the Missouri River was made for you and me. The Missouri River was not made for the state of Missouri. It was not made for MoDOT. It was not made for Cole County. It was not made for Callaway County. It was not made for the railroad. It was not made for the Corps of Engineers. The Missouri River was made for you and me. And when we make that shift, when we begin to understand that the Missouri River is made for you and me, we start to look at things differently. And this project fits into a matrix of this community of central Missouri reaching out and touching the Missouri River. When we recognize that things really do start to happen and we start to form partnerships with people instead of having strangers. As you walk across the river, one of the neat things about this view, I haven't seen it yet, but I presume you're going to get, for the first time, the public is going to be exposed to the expansiveness of Adrian's Island. Adrian's Island is a wonderful natural resource, and it's going to take partnerships like the partnerships that created this event to build out and complete the use of Adrian's Island. Other communities have learned that. Communities that are bigger than ours and smaller than ours. They've learned it in Herman. They've learned it in Washington. They've learned it in Little Rock. They've learned it in Memphis. They've learned it in Wichita. They've learned it in Ottumwa. Those communities have learned how to touch the rivers that flow through them, and they are better communities for it. We've recently, Jefferson City was very appropriately awarded one of 5 national grants for greening America's capital. And when the folks in Washington, D.C. looked at the topography of our capital and how Wares Creek flows into the Missouri River, and they said, "What's that thing on the river next to the Capitol?" And we said, "Well, that's Adrian's Island." And they could not believe it. They could not believe it. And the planning money that is going to be coming in conjunction with the Greening America's Capital, it's going to talk about Wares Creek a lot, but you know where Wares Creek flows. And we are all over Adrian's Island. And we have to begin to build partnerships with people in order to complete it. Bill Lockwood and his folks in the Chamber have done a great job with that resource. But we have to keep it going. We have to build partnerships with the railroad. The railroad cannot be a stranger in Omaha. The railroad has to be a partner right here with us. We have to build partnerships with the Office of Administration, as they truly are. We're really encouraged with some of the recent communications with the Office of Administration in respect to the Missouri State Penitentiary Redevelopment Project, because it's on the east side of that project that once again Jefferson City touches Adrian's Island. So it's all about partnerships, as Senator Kehoe said. And I'm going to leave you with the second verse of Woody Guthrie's song. And as you walk across the river and you look at the Capitol building, I want you to think about this. As I was walking a ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land is made for you and me. Ladies and gentlemen, the Missouri River is made for you. It's made for me. Let's get after it. Thanks.
awesome. Really awesome. Great event.
You couldn't tell though without this thing is built.
Yeah.
It's so
Hey, Chuck.
yeah, I'm talking to you.
Hi, Chuck. How are you doing today? Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. How was it?
Well, it's April 7th, 2011, and the Katy Trail spur that goes across the Missouri River Bridge has been completed. And we had the opening ceremonies and ribbon cutting, and everyone that wanted to either rode their bike or walked across the bridge. And now we're going back north across the river once more. And as they always say when you're backpacking, when you're near the end of your journey, it's all downhill from here. Thanks for joining me.